Oh, Nation Fit to 10. I'm not sure what I just said there. I want to say Nation of Fit in 10. No, Fit in 10 Nation. That's what I wanted to say. Or Nation of Fit in 10. Anyways, it is day 29. And you know, it's like day 35 is coming. That is the halfway point, which is kind of weird, right? Like, you probably feel like you just sort of got your wheels in motion, at least not too long ago, and sort of chugging along. This thing goes by super fast. But I guarantee you that you will see more as the challenge goes on, okay? So be patient, and as I mentioned in yesterday's video, stay focused, right? Stay focused. Focus. Okay, I'm going to start to just list off foods that I would rather you not have, that I'm seeing in people's journals, and so let's go through at least some of those. Beef wieners. Hot dogs are not real food. You may think they're real food, but they're not. So stay away from hot dogs, even if they're real beef. Okay. They are actually really not. They may be made. Meat may be real meat, may be one of the ingredients, but they are certainly far from real meat. Okay. Noodles, generally noodles. If I'm going to say no, but if you feel like you could have them, then shoot me the ingredients and I'll take a look. Okay. Oreo sandwiches. Yeah, I mean, I realize that the word sandwich is there. You might think, oh, sandwiches are healthy, aren't they? But unfortunately, not the Oreo ones, okay? Oreo sandwiches are really not the sandwiches I want you to be eating. So stay away from those. Canola oil. All right, if you're going to cook with an oil or make a salad dressing, just stick with things like, if it's going to be for salad dressing, go with something like an olive oil or a macadamia nut oil. If you're going to cook, again, go with real butter or go with coconut oil, okay? And deli meat, okay? Stay away from the deli meats. Again, real whole food we are after. I did notice some of the measurements I saw actually a couple of chicken measurements that were off. I saw one that was like way off. Like, it was almost the calories were half of what the person had mentioned. So just be careful with this. If you're unsure, just send it to me and say, hey, does this look reasonable? For cooked chicken, you're going to be getting somewhere around 52 calories per ounce, or every 28 grams, 52 calories. So you're getting about 8 grams of protein and usually about 2 grams of fat, something like that, okay? 2 grams of fat, depending on, it's probably not 2, it's probably closer to 1. Okay, so, just keep that in mind. It depends on how it's cooked, basically, okay? Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, let's get to more of your feedback here. Or just log me out. So let me log back in here. Okay. Oh, I already read that one from yesterday. Okay. Name something specific you can improve upon for the following week. Continue to push hard and work on my form during resistance workouts. Okay, so listen, when you give me something specific you're going to improve upon, I want something that you are accountable to, right? So, like, for example, on this, continue to push hard and work on my form during resistance workouts. So this doesn't really give you anything that's accountable, So, let's just say, I don't know, you're not meeting your intervals. You're getting 6 of your 9, okay? So something that would be much more accountable to you would be like, or for you would be like, I'm going to do 7 intervals over the next 3, cardios I'm going to do. Something very specific, right? If it's your food, it's like, I'm going to be within 10% of each of my macros next week for, every day. Something like that, okay? It's got to be something that you're accountable for. This is, doesn't really give anything for you to concretely account for, right? To be accountable to. Name something you need help with? Nothing? Is there anything you'd like to cover this week? There's nothing? Okay, there's nothing? There's nothing? Okay, name something specific you can improve on for the following week. I need to be more consistent in my meal planning so I have less room for making bad eating decisions. Okay, so, yes, more consistent. How consistent? How many meals are you off? Go back and say, listen, I was off by, 4 meals. Next week, I'm only going to be off by 2. I don't know. You got to give yourself some rules. Again, you got to give yourself something that you can be accountable to. Name something specific you need help with. I need somebody to follow me around and remind me not to drink alcohol. I cost a lot, to be honest with you. Okay, so I don't know what to say on this one. Nobody's forcing you, okay? So you just have to not do it. Just stop yourself. You can do it. I believe you can do it. I believe you can. It takes a lot, right? You have to go for that bottle or can, right? You've got to, let's say if it's a can, I guess it's easier. It's already, it's in a can for you. You just have to open it up. But then you got to take it to your mouth. You got to put it in your mouth. You got to swallow it. So you just have to stop yourself from doing that, right? So just don't. Again, right, I've told you before, just don't. Stop it, okay? How do I achieve max shrugs? Okay, I'm assuming this is a joke. Okay, so a shrug is actually an exercise that I don't ever do. Actually, there actually is. I think there's some benefit to it as potentially a rehab exercise if done in a certain way. Video demo, please, for a max shrug. All right, well, maybe I'll do it on a fun video or something, okay? But I don't have any weights with me right now, so. Additional comments or questions. Protein is my favorite. Okay, you are the first person to say this. Actually, you're not the first person, but you're one of very few. But I'm happy to hear that. All right, how am I doing here? 7 minutes. Let's see if I can get to one more question here. Name something specific you can improve upon for the following week. I love baking. I want to experiment with baking using recipes that have very little oil and substitute with applesauce and pumpkin sauce. Pumpkin sauce? Oh yeah, I guess you got pumpkin sauce. All right, this is a long question, so let's leave it for tomorrow. Let's get to the message of the day. My contacts are super dry. Maybe it's allergies. All right, listen, you know what? This is the week that people tend to quit. So we're going into week 5, right? Day 29 is actually the week. It's the beginning of week 5, right? The beginning of week 5. So this is often, we don't get a lot of people that quit, but we do get people that do. So I'm going to remind you that that you will not quit. And well, actually, really what I want to say is usually in week 5 is the point at which people do drop off. So I'm going to remind you not to drop off. I'm going to remind you that some is better than none. Okay? Some is certainly better than none. And if you feel overwhelmed, take a step back and just do your best. You can let me know. You can say, listen, this is what I'm having a problem with. I can't deal with everything. I've got, X, Y, and Z going through my life right now. I know there's people out there that have this. All right, well, let's just take a step back and let's focus on one thing. Let's focus on the exercise. Let's focus on, trying to get in 3 resistance classes per week or 2 or whatever, okay? So, but this is certainly not going to be the week that you quit, right? Quitting, if there's one sure way to, and I hate to use this word, but maybe you can relate to it, fail. I don't like to think of it like that, though. I never really do. Is if there is one sure way to not get, let's put it more, let's give it something that actually means more. If there's one way to not get what you want, it's to quit working towards what you want, right? So let's not do that, right? Let's keep working towards what you want, right? How can you, I always ask myself this, because I, like many people, I can self-sabotage, right? I'm sure we can all do this. But ultimately, if we self-sabotage, we are just working against ourselves, right? We are really just ultimately working against ourselves. We are only going to make ourselves more frustrated and probably going to experience more feelings of hopelessness, right? So you have to ask yourself, okay, granted I feel this way, fair enough. experience those feelings, whatever, right? Accept that, and then let's say, okay, how can I help myself? Maybe I can't do all of this, but let's just, maybe I can do some of it, because certainly you can. Okay, certainly you can, and I guarantee you if you do some, you will feel better. Okay, you will certainly feel better than doing none, right? All right, so anyways, getting back to my message of the day, it's okay. Did I even say the message of the day? I didn't even say the message of the day. The message of the day is this: it's okay to want to quit, just so long as you don't. It's totally fine if you want to quit. Totally fine. Just don't. Okay? Just don't. If it feels like it's a lot, and again, I know I've had a couple people tell me this already, and probably some of you haven't told me, just do your best. Take one thing and focus on that. Okay? And take a deep breath, and it's not a big deal if you don't get, if you don't get those goals that we set out to do, okay? Because if you chip away and you get some of it, you're going to be at least some steps closer to that, right? Some is always better than none. Some is always better than none, okay? Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself. For the love of God, give some gratitude. I will see you guys all later. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And did I mention that your numbers, you should have your numbers, right? We'll talk to you all soon. See ya.